5 years ago, the Osgoode Township Museum decided to build a heritage garden. They started with a patch of lawn and a backyard with a few trees. The garden was based on a 1905 student garden layout with 4 squares and a central circle. Over the years, the garden grew and flourished. An orchard was added to the backyard. Because watering the garden consumed a lot of time and effort by the staff, the museum decided to install a rainwater harvesting and drip irrigation system. They partnered with the South Nation Conservation Authority and Just Food Ottawa to assist funding the project. Because one of the funding programs has an educational requirement, the funder asked that we also offer a course in rainwater harvesting and put together an instructional video to offer online. Labor was provided by volunteers from the museum's volunteer base. The museum would like to encourage others to harvest rainwater as well, and here is the story of what we did. Rainwater harvesting. The museum water supply comes from a well and is supplemented by rain barrels catching rain from the main museum roof. We do have a large barn, the roof of which would give us a considerable amount of water if we could harvest it. It would also alleviate erosion concerns from the roof runoff. We looked at the amount of garden that would need to be watered, the type of garden, and the location. We reviewed data on local rainfall records. We decided on the type of water reservoir that would work best for us and the best location for it. We looked at our options for overflow disposal, and of course, we kept local zoning requirements in mind. Storage and treatment. Our first step was to install eavesdropping along the sides of our 100-foot by 50-foot barn. Half of the roof drains toward the back of the barn, where we built a level and well-drained gravel pad to hold the tank. The tank size had been determined by estimating the amount of rainfall runoff and the garden's watering needs. We also built a shed around the tank area, as it is located on grounds open to the public and needed to be protected. We installed a first flush system to assure a clean source of water. Our overflow system, planned for construction in 2017, will consist of a soak-away pit. Water distribution system. Once our water source was in place, we installed our water distribution system. We rented a trencher and dug trenches from the water tank to the main areas that will need watering. We decided on a pressure system rather than a gravity system, as the garden is a long way from the tank and the pressure drop made a gravity system impractical. After we cleared the trenches of rocks and roots, we laid down the water piping. We made sure all the connections were assembled with ease of repair in mind. We also installed an electrical trace wire to assist in locating the buried water lines, then backfilled. Finally, we connected drip irrigation hoses in the garden proper. Harvesting rainwater for micro-irrigation. Our main design plan laid out the various types of gardens we had and how we would irrigate each one. We have a vegetable garden, a number of flower gardens, and an orchard to water. Each would need their own specific amount of water and type of applicator. We installed a combination of micro sprinklers, micro emitters, and drip tape. We made sure staff were trained in monitoring the system on a regular basis and repairing the system as needed. Volunteers experienced in running these systems will do whatever spring startup and fall winterization tasks are needed. After the project was completed, the museum put together a lovely picnic to thank all the volunteers for their work.